What's up, everybody? I go by the name Kyle Breeze, and we're back again with the new About series. This time, it's about KGBK. This series is about the story and process of making my new album, Kids Gon Be Kids, or Kids Gon Be K.I.D.S. I hope you enjoyed this series, and I hope you stick around to enjoy the album. Thank you so much for listening. I found myself yearning for a previous time in my life for the first time ever. This is not to say that I did not grieve for my grandfather as a personal loss, because I definitely did. But in another realm of emotions, beyond my individual sadness, I realized that my grandfather represented more in my mind than I had known all my life up until he passed away. He was a great man, and I believe that he built a spiritual home for all of his family to reside in beyond his earthly experience. The spiritual home does not necessarily represent him, but it comforts us in the same way that a home shelters the people in it. This was not a physical home, but instead it was the spiritual essence that came from his selfless nature and long-lasting love. He will be dearly missed. Now that my grandfather had been called home, I realized that my childhood was truly over. There was absolutely no hope of going back, ever, and this realization disrupted my thoughts. I would imagine that that is how many people have felt in response to losing a loved one they grew up with, and rightfully so. But I know that my grandfather would not have wanted our family to grieve forever, and that he would have wanted us to continue on the paths God has laid out for us. This was still intimidating for me, as I felt that I was neither prepared to follow in my father's footsteps, nor ready to continue to face the fact that times were changing whether I liked it or not. You might think that a 19-year-old, I was 19 at the time, which was early to mid-2019, should not be thinking like this, but I felt that if I avoided thinking about what the future may hold, then everything would catch me off guard again. Now, there I was in the shadow of another mountain, another product of time. But I realized that God would not allow me to continue moving down a path I was not ready to travel on. A few weeks before my grandfather passed, I had been extremely excited about learning to play the guitar. I was watching videos of Johnny Cash's performances and listening to more and more guitar-based music. I began to yearn to play the instrument so much that I started losing sleep because of it, in a good way. Additionally, one of the first ideas I had for my next album was to do a guitar-based song titled Why Don't You Love Me? And, as I said before, I believe that my grandfather would have wanted all of his family and friends to continue on their God-given paths, no matter what. So, I figured the best way to do that would be to follow my heart. And I picked up a guitar. About a month after taking my first few beginner guitar lessons online, I had some concrete ideas down for the album, around late June to early July 2019. I had also decided to lock in the album title I had been thinking of since January 2019, Kids Gon Be Kids, or KGBK for short. I was afraid of using that title because of what the acronym stands for, thinking that people might believe I was being insensitive. But given the album's purpose and how serious I was about expressing myself, I decided to muster up the courage to say what I wanted to in hopes that people would come around when they discovered my objective. Also, I really liked the title, and I thought it was fitting,